Interview 1.
Welcome to Health and Technology. Today, we are discussing the future of artificial intelligence AI in healthcare with Dr. Michael, a specialist in medical technology. Dr. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
AI has been making headlines in many industries, especially in healthcare. How is AI currently being used in healthcare?
AI is already being used in several areas of healthcare. One of the most common uses is in diagnostics. For example, AI systems can analyze medical images, such as X-rays and MRIs, to detect abnormalities like tumors or fractures. These systems can process large amounts of data much faster than humans, which can lead to quicker and more accurate diagnoses. AI is also being used in personalized medicine, where treatment plans are tailored to an individual's genetic makeup.
That sounds very promising. What about the challenges of integrating AI into healthcare systems?
There are definitely challenges. One of the biggest issues is data privacy. Since AI relies on large amounts of data to function effectively, there are concerns about how patient information is stored and used. Another challenge is the cost of implementing AI technologies, which can be prohibitive for smaller healthcare facilities. Additionally, while AI can assist in decision-making, there is still a need for human oversight to ensure that diagnoses and treatment plans are accurate.
Do you think AI will eventually replace doctors and healthcare professionals?
I don't think AI will ever completely replace healthcare professionals. AI is a tool that can enhance the work of doctors and nurses by providing them with more accurate data and insights. However, healthcare is a field that requires a human touch, especially when it comes to patient care and making critical decisions. AI can help, but it won't replace the expertise and compassion that healthcare professionals bring to the table.
What do you see as the future of AI in healthcare?
I believe that AI will continue to play a growing role in healthcare. We'll likely see more advanced AI systems that can assist in areas like surgery, drug discovery, and disease prevention. With the right safeguards in place, AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare by making it more efficient and accessible for everyone.
Interview 2.
Welcome to Education Today. We're discussing the challenges of remote learning with Ms. Jane, a teacher with over 10 years of experience in online education. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Jane.
Thank you for having me.
Remote learning became a necessity during the pandemic, but it also brought many challenges. What are some of the biggest issues you've encountered with remote learning?
One of the biggest challenges is keeping students engaged. In a traditional classroom, teachers can use interactive activities and face-to-face communication to keep students interested. However, in an online environment, it's much harder to hold their attention, especially for younger students. Another challenge is the lack of access to technology. Not all students have reliable internet or access to devices like laptops or tablets, which makes it difficult for them to participate in online classes.
That's a good point. How do you address the issue of student engagement in an online setting?
To keep students engaged, I try to incorporate a variety of activities into my lessons. For example, I use videos, quizzes, and interactive games to break up the monotony of lectures. It's also important to keep the lessons short and to the point. In a virtual classroom, students can easily get distracted, so shorter, more focused lessons are more effective. I also encourage students to participate by asking questions and using chat functions to promote interaction.
What about the technology gap? How can schools and teachers help students who don't have access to the necessary tools?
That's a big challenge, but there are ways to help. Some schools have provided students with laptops or tablets, and many communities have set up free Wi-Fi hotspots. In some cases, teachers have created printed materials for students who can't join online classes. It's important to be flexible and find creative solutions to ensure that all students have the opportunity to learn.
What do you think is the future of remote learning?
I believe that remote learning is here to stay, even after the pandemic. While it may not replace traditional classrooms entirely, it offers flexibility that many students and parents appreciate. Schools will likely adopt a hybrid model that combines in-person and online learning. The key will be continuing to improve the technology and finding ways to engage students effectively in both environments. Interview 3.
Welcome to Style and Sustainability. Today, we're talking about the growing popularity of sustainable fashion with Ms. Sarah, a designer who focuses on eco-friendly clothing. Ms. Sarah, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Sustainable fashion has become more popular in recent years. Can you explain what sustainable fashion is?
Sustainable fashion refers to clothing that is produced in a way that minimizes harm to the environment and promotes ethical labor practices. This means using materials that are eco-friendly, such as organic cotton or recycled fabrics, and ensuring that the production process is energy efficient and produces minimal waste. It also involves fair treatment and wages for the workers who make the clothes.
That sounds great. Why do you think consumers are becoming more interested in sustainable fashion?
There are several reasons. First, people are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of the fashion industry. The fast fashion model, where clothes are produced quickly and cheaply, often leads to overproduction and waste. Additionally, consumers are more concerned about ethical labor practices, as there have been many reports of poor working conditions in factories around the world. People want to support brands that are doing things the right way, both for the environment and for the workers.
What are some of the challenges that sustainable fashion brands face?
One of the biggest challenges is cost. Sustainable materials and ethical production processes are often more expensive, which can make the final products more costly for consumers. Another challenge is scalability. Many sustainable brands are small and can't produce the same large quantities as fast fashion brands, which makes it harder to compete in terms of price and availability. Finally, educating consumers about the value of sustainable fashion is an ongoing challenge. It's important for people to understand why these clothes cost more and why it's worth investing in them.
Do you think sustainable fashion will continue to grow in popularity?
Absolutely. I believe that as more people become aware of the environmental and social issues surrounding the fashion industry, the demand for sustainable options will continue to rise. Brands will need to adapt by incorporating sustainable practices into their production processes, and consumers will need to shift their mindset away from disposable fashion. Ultimately, I think sustainable fashion is the future of the industry.